So it seems like this fall has been the season for the GMT with Seiko and Miyota coming out with GMT movements. A lot of the brands have taken advantage, and there's been some great options when it comes to affordable GMTs just over the past few months. Today, I have in the Ace X GMT from Aerotec Watches. This is kind of a GMT slash diver hybrid with a really cool textured dial design. Big thanks to the folks over at Aerotech for lending the watch in for us to take a look at together. So let's get to it and check it out. Now, these are coming out by way of a Kickstarter campaign. It's a ways out now, but should launch in January. The owner asked, though, for me to put this video out early to get feedback from you guys. So, any feedback or thoughts on the watch, please share those in the comments below. As far as color options go, there will be 3 dials available at launch. One is a silver dial, there's a red dial, and the one I have here today is a black and burgundy. So let's start with the dial. This one is a gradient dial fading from burgundy to black. What's kind of neat is with the inner GMT bezel, it's also gradient instead of having a sharp line between the colors that you would normally see on a lot of GMT bezels. The dial has a metallic finish, and because of that, it has some great light play. It can go from looking like there's barely any texturing at all to it really standing out, and overall, it's a pretty cool look if you're looking for something a little different. One bit of feedback I'd give Aerotech is to maybe try this in a blue dial too, if they could. I bet it would look awesome in a nice shade of blue. With having a dial like this, I think they made the right choice having next to no print work on the dial. Down at the 6, in a very small font, is the water resistance, which is 200 meters. Up near the 12, we have the applied logo. The hour markers are also applied, and I especially like that 12 o'clock marker. It kind of matches the look of the cathedral hour hand. The loom is very good. Nothing to complain about when it comes to the loom at all. They're using BGW9 and C3 Super Luminova. No problems getting the time at night, and also no problems finding those crowns either. So, yeah, very happy with the loom on this one. So, we've got 2 bezels, the internal GMT bezel, which you can adjust with the screw down crown at the 2 o'clock, and I'll just show you that here now quickly. It's actually got a subtle click to it. It might be hard to notice, but if you do, the print work on this prototype isn't perfectly aligned, and that will be fixed on the production models. The dive bezel is a 120 click bezel, good and easy to grip, sounds and feels nice to use. The insert is aluminum. Let's go around one more time here, maybe. The insert is aluminum, which can sometimes be a negative, but it does match well with the metallic look of the dial. The movement is the Seiko NH34 GMT movement with a power reserve of approximately 41 hours. It is a 21 joule movement beating at 21,600 vibrations per hour. Winding action is fairly good. It's not gritty, but it's not butter smooth either. If you pull the crown out to the first stop, you can adjust the GMT hand by turning the crown clockwise. Now, this watch does not have a date, so there is actually a ghost date position. You can feel it as you turn the crown counterclockwise. In the last position, you can set the time. When it comes to the crowns, both are sized right, so they are easy to get a hold of and screw down smoothly. The bracelet is a Jubilee style bracelet, and same as pretty well every Jubilee I've tried, it's super comfortable. The bracelet is quick release with solid end links. The links are using split pins for sizing. The clasp is pretty standard issue. You see similar ones on quite a few smaller brands out there. but it's still a good clasp, solid steel there, and we have 6 micro adjustments as well. The case is fully brushed other than the case back. The finish work looks good. It's a pretty simple case design, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. The case back is super cool with that diver there and the 2 lenses on the goggles being sapphire crystals to get a glimpse at the movement. Definitely one of my favorite case backs I've seen in a while. Size on the watch comes in at a case width of 41.4 millimeters. The lug to lug 48.1 millimeters. Lug opening is 20 millimeters and the thickness is 16.6 millimeters. So quite thick, but keep in mind the crystal has that heavy dome. I tried my best to measure from the bottom of the case to where the bezel meets the crystal, and it's about 14 millimeters. I find the watch wears closer to that than the 16.6. The crystal is sapphire and treated with an anti-reflective coating on the underside. And here is a look on my 7.25 inch wrist, and I think this looks awesome. This is one of those watches you really need to see in person to appreciate it, especially when it comes to that textured dial. Now, these are coming out sometime in January through the Kickstarter campaign. They haven't fully locked down all the pricing just yet, but the owner tells me the early bird pricing will start around 330 USD. Link to the Aerotec site will be below. Definitely go check them out. Appreciate you taking a few minutes to stop by, and we'll see you real soon. Bye bye.